What's up, guys? How are you? Happy Friday. Welcome into another episode of the Daily Juice Podcast. My name is Matt Perrault. You guys can follow me across all socials at Sports Talk Matt. And maybe you are new to this podcast. If you are, welcome. How are you? You may have caught the live stream yesterday on the BettingPros YouTube channel. That was a lot of fun. 30 some odd minutes of going through player props and picks, and I'll give you the record. I've got a play on the game tonight between the Packers and the Eagles. I have 4 player props today, and yes, I do have another WNBA play because we have been red hot betting the WNBA. We hit it again last night with the over 165. Here is what we did so far yesterday. We got the Watson bet was right. That's a mistake. I'm not sure why I put that there. I'm sorry. We got all 4 prop bets correct, including the Isaiah Pacheco anytime touchdown, Mystics and Mercury over, and we missed a perfect night by a toe, a tiny toe. However, if you did bet what I suggested, which was the same game teaser, +9 under 53, you hit that and you made up for the Ravens bet, so you wound up with a nice, 5-0 or really 6-1 type of night. And depending on what numbers you got, you were up a couple of units. So that's not too bad at all. The same game teaser hits. That stupid toe. My gosh. But how did Lamar miss a wide open receiver and Zay Flowers in the end zone? Oh, Lamar ran for over 100 yards. Got that easily. Hill was never really in the running game. Pacheco scored a touchdown, and Watson had that one catch for 25 yards. That was the thing I missed, that we got the over on that. So I've got 4 player props. I got a bet here for tonight, and I also have a WNBA play for you guys here today on this Friday. But before we do anything, let me remind you about downloading the BettingPros app, okay? You can track all your bets on there, but you also have a thing called the prop bet cheat sheet. Now, it's kind of ironic because the prop bet cheat sheet and me are going up against each other here tonight for this game with the Packers and the Eagles. But if you haven't ever seen the prop bet cheat sheet on your screen, that's what it looks like. That's the desktop version. There's also a mobile version as well, but you're going to see the name, the player. You're going to see what the number is. And then you're going to see the projection as to what the prop bet cheat sheet is projecting. Now, these little locked columns, that comes from when you guys are subscribing to the BettingPros premium side of the app. Those all unlock, and you can see even more data, even more predictive data as to what is going on for these players. So Christian Watson, Jalen Hurts. It's a little ironic. This prop bet cheat sheet, I've got 3 bets all on the other side of the prop bet cheat sheet, but that's not a bad thing, okay? I mean, we're talking about a very tight number here, and I'm playing different numbers than what, this is projecting for Jalen Hurts at 239.2. The current number is 240.5. This is saying 243.5, so a little bit of a higher number, and we're betting prop bets. Numbers absolutely matter. So you can go and check it out. Use your own research. Download the BettingPros app right now in the Android and iOS stores. Track your bets, prop bet cheat sheet, and more, all available with the BettingPros app. Go check it out today. Download it for free, and you get access to the betting systems. You can create your own betting systems, your own situations as to what you're looking for. It's very, very cool. Go check it out at the App Store and the Google Play Store for BettingPros, free download for the BettingPros app. Okay, let's start with the Packers and the Eagles. Look, Jalen Hurts away from home has been a different type of player in his career. He doesn't play as well. He has to play without Jason Kelce, who has retired, the starting center for all those years, the anchor of that offensive line. I think the Eagles are going to throw the ball more, even with Saquon Barkley now in this lineup. Just wonder how the line's going to hold up. Just wonder how the line in the offensive line and the overall new offense being run, new offensive coordinator coming in and Kellen Moore, what do they look like? What do they look to do more of using Jalen Hurts? He's got to be more accurate. He's got to turn down on the turnovers. But the offense will still pretty much all revolve around Jalen Hurts. And that's what I'm expecting here in game number 1 against the Packers. But I do think that they're going to be behind a lot. I think Jordan Love and this offense, these wide receivers, Matt LaFleur and company, a lot of people like the Packers to win the Super Bowl this year. I'm not really one of them yet, but I am a believer in what this team can do early against the Eagles on a neutral. I'm going to take the 2 points. I think Packers win the game outright. You can bet money line if you want. I'll just take the incentive and take the +2 just in case. You saw what tonight looked like, right? Right down to one play, 1 inch, one toe. I'll take the 2 points just in case. 1.1 units, Packers +2 here tonight. Like I mentioned, I think we're going to see the offense be behind for the Eagles. I think it all comes down to Jalen Hurts, okay? I think Jalen Hurts runs the football, much like we saw Lamar do last night. It's the same bet. I think it's going to be an opportunity to come in and bet on Jalen Hurts over 36.5 yards rushing. I think he gets that pretty easily. And I think Jalen Hurts throws the ball really well tonight, over 240.5 yards passing against this secondary for the Packers. And again, I think they're going to be trailing. When you're trailing, you throw the ball more. You don't run the ball as much. So I don't think the Packers are going to be slowed down all that much. I do lean towards the over in this game, but it's a neutral, so I'm a little nervous about betting the over. But I do think you're going to see Eagles behind, Eagles throwing the football a lot. 240 yards, not a gigantic number for this offense. I'm going to go over Jalen Hurts passing yardage at 240.5 and over Jalen Hurts rushing at 36.5 yards. Now, I also think Devontae Smith will score. I think he's going to be a target in the red zone this year. This year. The price is good. +180 on a Devontae Smith. Again, I like the over in this game. So I think you have a bunch of offensive touchdowns being scored. And I think you could do a same game teaser if you want. You can take the Packers up to +8, and then you can come in here and take take the total. Let me see what the best total on the board is to do that for tomorrow if you want to jump in on that, a same game teaser. So you could take the +2 and you could go ahead and pair that up with 49. Pull it down and go over. Okay, so 49, pull it down to 43 and go over. Take the +2. Sound Point here in Vegas has gone to 2.5. So maybe you can go all the way up to 8.5 points. So +8.5 Green Bay. Pull it down and go over. That bet cashed last night for us with the teaser for the Ravens and the Chiefs. Same play, same bet. I'll do the same thing here with the same game teaser. 1-0 so far in the year doing that. Let's come back again here. You can do that. I'm not going to make it official because teasing this early in the year, not great, but I am going to do that. So if you want to do that too, you can do that as well. But I'm jumping in on that. And then I think Christian Watson, I think there's too many weapons for the Packers. I don't know how many yards how many targets Christian Watson's going to get in this game. I think when you have so many wide receivers, you have Wicks and Dobbs and Reed. I just think there's a lot of options here to throw to and a lot of players available. Plus the running game, I think, will be a big factor here for the Packers and Jordan Love. I think odd man out, it's going to be Christian Watson here. So I'm going to go under that number for him at 37.5 receiving yards. So for this game, officially, Packers +2, Jalen Hurts over 240.5 passing yards, Jalen Hurts over 36.5 rushing yards, Devontae Smith anytime touchdown at +180, and Christian Watson under 37.5 yards receiving at -110. We're going to bet the props to win a half a unit and the game to win 1 unit, laying 1.1 units down on that. Again, if you want to do the same game teaser, go right ahead. You can do that. I like that play a lot as well, to go ahead and jump on the +8. Go over, not under this time, but go over 43 for Packers Eagles. Now, one more bet in the W. Minnesota up against Indiana. High barn burner. Wow. Indiana's won 5 games in a row. Though the Lynx are 8-2 straight up over their last 10 games, but they lost 2 games ago on the road. Their last road game to Dallas, they got smoked 94-76. They were favored by 7.5. Lost the game outright. They also failed to cover against Chicago 79-74, -13 on that line. They did not come anywhere near covering that. Indiana is really hot. 5 games in a row, 7 of 8 that they have won. At home or on the road, they've been favored. They were gigantic favorites against the Sparks. We took +12.5 on them. They won the game 93-86. Their last road game against Dallas, 100-93. They won the game and they covered. They won and covered against Chicago on the road. They won and covered against Connecticut at home. They won and covered against Atlanta on the road. So 4-1 over their last 5 games against the spread. But head-to-head, Indiana has actually played really well against Minnesota. But this year, both games were played in Minnesota. First game of the year, Indiana Fever won the game, 81-74. They were 4.5-point dogs, and they won the game outright. But the last game in August, just last week, 90-80, the Lynx were favored by 5. They won the game by 10. These two teams are awesome ATS. The number is Minnesota minus 2.5. Minnesota 21-12-1 ATS. Indiana is 20-14 ATS. One possession game. This is a playoff preview, but I think the Lynx are going to just outlast Indiana here. Minnesota's 24-9. They've been sort of treading water a little bit here, but when push comes to shove, I think they're the better team, and I think they'll win the game. Great atmosphere in Indiana. It's going to be rocking. This is a great game. If you don't like watching football, you can watch this one. Minnesota, minus 2.5. I'll lay it on the road up against Indiana tonight. Lynx win. Lynx cover here for 1.1 units. Okay, so 2 full unit plays. Lynx minus 2.5. Packers plus 2. 4 quarter unit plays. Hurts over passing, Hurts over rushing. Devontae Smith anytime touchdown, and Christian Watson of the Packers under 37.5 receiving yards for us here on a Friday's Daily Juice. I will talk to you in the Discord channel, bettingpros.com/chat. Reminder, Saturday morning Discord channel chat happens at 11 a.m. Eastern in our Discord with me for a half an hour to an hour talking college football. And then Sunday for 1 full hour, myself and Pat Fitzmaurice gets going. The NFL Sunday show is noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific time for 1 hour, taking up the kickoff of week 1 of the NFL on the Betting Pros YouTube channel. My name is Matt Perrault. Follow me across all socials at Sports Talk Matt. Every morning, it's the Daily Juice Podcast presented by bettingpros.com.